the upper faculties, if I may be so bold, to be able to cohere something like this,
Go
or
here.
to make this scenario up, or to stage the crime scene, which is, I always thought it was strange. We want to talk about strange. How come the detectives on the case stated that she had staged the crime scene but didn't use the stage? If they said she staged the crime scene, but what they don't tell you is that she didn't use the stage.
Well, she didn't
So
use the
why would she have
stage.
staged the crime
She
scene?
didn't use the stage because when she realized that Damon was still alive, that kind of messed up stuff for her just a tad bit.
Didn't use the stage. Don't make any sense. And again,
Keep in mind when she was making that statement, wasn't that the day of the viewing for her kids? And you know,
Sometimes you set up something, you make a plan to do something, and you've got it all planned out how your day's going to go, and something can happen and put a wrench in it. That's you not using your plan when something happens. Maybe she didn't intend for her glass to break. Maybe that changed her. Maybe she didn't intend to have to run back and forth from the sink to get towels. She didn't think it through. The staging wasn't thought through. That's why she didn't use it. She had an idea, a basic idea of what she wanted to make it look like. She cut that screen earlier in the day. I think that's like one of the first things she probably did. Is cut the screen.
you got to think she's still kind of confused a little bit. And she was making the statement, writing it out. She was probably in a hurry to write it out because she just wanted to go see her boys.
I asked her about that. We talked about that in grave detail. And she said, Rich, she said that they had her down there at the department and they're drilling her and drilling her and drilling her. And finally she told him, it's like, listen, my son's viewing is like in a short while from now. I need to go.
I don't understand why that they held her up from that viewing. Uh, if it were me, I would afterwards, I would have let her have the viewing. Uh, yeah, I don't understand why they did that. That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make her innocent or guilty. It makes it like I just don't understand why the police would hold her up when she's obviously can't think clearly, right? Because she wants to go to this viewing. You can't blame her, kill her or not. She wants to go to this viewing, right? Because whatever she snapped, she also came back down and realized that her kids are gone and she wanted to go see that. Nothing wrong with that. I don't understand why they did that.
They kept drilling and drilling, and she ended up being 2 hours late to the viewing.
I thought it was 3 hours, but
Um, which is that's just terrible. But anyway,
he's right. I agree with him here. It's terrible that they held her up then, and it's not very smart on their half. She'd probably get better answers from her after the viewing. As soon as she walks out, that's when you say, "Hey, we come talk to you now?" That would probably be the best time to question her. Maybe some guilt would set in after she sees what she did.
they made her 2 hours late to the viewing, and Jamie's exactly right, because I asked her, I said, Darlie, I said, you have two different police statements, and they're a little bit different from one another. Can you tell me why? I said, because a lot of people are curious to know about that.
They're a little bit different from one another, Darlie. I'd have been like, what's this? Why'd you say this here and this here? Why? I mean, it's you don't just. Well, they're completely different.
And she said when she was at that police station, she was trying to rip through that thing real fast because she needed to get out of there so she could go to the viewing of her sons.
Why didn't they? Why didn't either one of them say, "Hey, can't you question me after this?" Because I would have. I would have said, "Look, I need to get to this viewing. If you want to question me, I want to do that afterwards. And then the most important thing to me right now is getting to that viewing. If you need to arrest me, arrest me. If not, I'd like to be released to go to that viewing, and I'll be back afterwards. That's what I would have done. Had somebody came into my house and attacked my kids, and then they want to talk to me about it while my kids are laying over. No, the time was inappropriate. If it would be me, the thing I'd want to do is be latched on to my kid's casket. Had an intruder come in my house and done that. Now she knows that she did it. She still wants to get. She's got to put on a show that she needs to get there. So why didn't she put on a show?
Which is exactly what Jamie. I'm curious to know how you know that, Jamie. Not a lot of people know about that. Or did she tell you that? Because I know you
She
guys.
never told me that.
Okay.
I've told you kind of how feelings I get. She didn't have to tell me that.
Okay. Yeah. She told me that almost verbatim as to what you said.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Well, the psychology of crime victims, John Douglas writes about it in his book. They don't recall or mention the things that happened after the crime, places they went, what they touched, because to them those things are irrelevant. They have nothing to do with the crime.
At that point, she doesn't see the significance of putting every little thing in her statement because she doesn't think because she knows she's innocent, so she doesn't think, how would they even think she did this? So she's trying her best, but she just wants out of there. She wants to go see those boys. And so she's in a hurry. So everything's all kind of confused in her mind. So she's trying to write us back.
Wait a minute. If she's in a hurry and everything's all confused in her mind, but she knows that she needs to go see her boys, guilty or not, why didn't she speak up? Why did they allow? I wouldn't have sat there more than I wouldn't have went at all. I'd have been like, no, the viewing's going on right now. I need to be over there. I'd have been like, I'm not making any statements right now. I'm cooperating with you, but just not right this second. And I would be like, my kids are over there. I need to go grieve. Those would have been my answers for the whole thing. I know me, and you wouldn't hold me up. You wouldn't hold me up.
Fast as she can.
And if I could say something, somebody had made the comment. I just want to make this clear. And I don't even know how to say this name, but it says here that this person in the comment section said that this person is very familiar with Pam. She's awesome and knows a lot about the case. There was just a few times when Anand gave out wrong information and was never corrected. Well, listen, I know Pam. I've talked with Pam. I've had some great conversations with Pam, and she's very respectful to me when we talk. We haven't talked for a long time, but I wasn't questioning Pam. I was questioning what I like to refer to as her minions that are in her group.
Minions.
Again, I haven't talked to Pam for a long, long time.
Pam
I do know she attends this group, this panel, and I know the name she goes under. And I said, it's okay. You can come here. You don't cause any problems. You can ask questions or, whatever. I mean, there's some things I can't talk about at this time, but, I'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have. Just don't disrespect the family and, just don't disrespect my panel and we're not going to have any problems, which she doesn't do that when she comes in here. So I don't have any problem with her coming in here. We definitely have large differences of opinion on the case. But let me tell you something, folks, that one of our great founding fathers of the United States always used to say, never lose a friend over differences in beliefs in politics. Now, I know that's kind of not what this means, but it's the same idea. Just because somebody disagrees with you on something, don't make an enemy out of them.
No.
You shouldn't lose a friend over a disagreement on a view of an opinion.
No.
Just keep that in mind when people want to start thrashing on either side of the aisle here.
That was Thomas Jefferson, and I believe the friend he was referring to was Adams.
John Adams.
John
Adams. Yeah, that is correct. That is absolutely correct. Very good, Annie. Good. Not a lot of people know about that stuff, so it's really good to hear that somebody does. Now we're going to go into a couple different slides here. Now this isn't actually a part of today's podcast, but we got through that a lot quicker than I thought we would, and probably because Tara's not with us. If Tara was with us, the dialogue probably would have went a lot longer, because I know she would have had a lot to say about what we had talked about here today. So we'll go into these Darlie's injuries. And again, warning, some of these are graphic. This was a photo of Darlie Lynn when she was in the intensive care unit after the exploratory surgery that she had on her neck.
Cuts with sutures on them.
If anybody has a comment, just blurt it out. Anybody wants to make a comment in the comment section, please do so. And also,
so did she cut herself on the chin too? I find that hard to believe.
Oh, she had two of them on the chin. She had one like almost right in the center of the chin, and the one on the side. Well, we'll get into more of that in a second.
Now, if you look at Darlie's testimony, Darlie refers to those as some marks on her chin. They're referring to them as cuts. But if you go read the testimony about this, Darlie just says, I had some marks on my chin. Not cuts. The person that has them knows the difference. Like if I have cuts on my chin, I'm going to tell you, I got cuts on my chin. Or I got a mark on my chin. Would you refer to these as marks too then? You can see a little something right there.
I'm curious to know if you're interested on coming onto the panel for a episode, because I know you're on the fence on the case, and you're the kind of people that we love to talk with, not necessarily to bring you to our side, but just because that's where the best questions are asked. The people that are on the fence, those are where the best questions get asked.
For her also. I still believe, I can't get past it, but I still believe that
I've never seen Bonnie.
The whole reason they were in that home was to go after Darlie.